Guess what, Tom?
What's that?
I found a way to make our podcast wearable.
What?
Yeah, you could play it as you're walking. Okay, that's a lie. That part's a lie. But you can wear our artwork. You could wear some of the references back to our old films.
Artwork.
Yeah. Hey, what you're wearing on your shirt, that's a piece of art right there. It's me holding a gun covered in blood. I don't know what... If that ain't art, I don't know what art is, man.
I'm super excited I want to walk down the street now, whether it be Brooklyn, Staten Island, or fucking Japan. I want to see your face on someone's body right now.
Oh my god.
T Public, is that the name of the website?
So T Public, you can design. It's basically designed for indie artists and what haves. As I consider myself, no, that's a lie. But you can upload things that you've made, things that you've done on there. So I figured, fuck it, let me just upload for the sake of just cracking myself up.
Yeah.
I uploaded one of the artworks for one of our last podcasts from a few months ago, honestly. Yeah. And I wanted just to throw it onto like a mask, like a face mask, just so I have something funny to fucking wear. And I said, fuck it, let me just throw it on a bunch of other things. Threw it on some t-shirts, threw it on a bunch of other stuff. And then I sent it to Tom within, what, like the same morning?
Yeah, it was like 10 minutes.
He sent me a link. He's like, done, already bought. I'm like, fuck, I didn't even buy one yet. He already got one.
Yeah.
So either way, it got the gears churning in my head. And we're going to start putting up some more stuff up there. We're going to put more, I think we'll probably put some movie references up first and then put some, logos related to the to this podcast, to this lovely little thing that we've made. So,
and I'll even go a little further.
Yeah.
And say,
I'm gonna buy 2 t-shirts now.
Yeah. Well, I'm so willing. So Damien not knowingly made the design for the next shirt that I would love to buy.
Oh yes.
And I'm gonna take it upon myself that if someone, when you get the chance, put the link for the new shirt.
Okay.
If someone can, and the same day it gets uploaded, we'll make an announcement. Say this shirt is up within the hour of when it's posted. If someone can say where this particular movie came from, and they get it right,
we'll send them a free.
Send them a free shirt.
I think that's more than fair.
Yeah, just because I know you guys have been listening. So.
Oh my god! And I it's funny because as I just kind of did one of those quick collage things, I put it together.
It's awesome.
After you said it looks like a perfect thing for a shirt, I'm looking. I'm like, holy shit, it really does. Yeah. And if it's the size of the same previous T-shirt we did, I think it would be perfect. It would be perfect. The only thing I got to do is make it a little more high quality, and it'll be perfection.
So T Public, look for the link in the description of the podcast.
It'll be dropped in the bottom of this podcast here.
Perfect. And it's I think they're running $19.99. Yeah, it was like $20.
I think it was like $20, but they often run specials. So I mean, you could scout it out and get it cheaper. I mean, I'll post when it is cheaper, obviously.
Yeah. I think it was 14. I think it came out to 20 because of the shipping.
Oh, okay,
the shipping was pretty quick. Came 2 weeks, and I didn't know this. I bought mine in black, but Damien bought his in green. So they do come in different colors.
Yes, sir.
So the shirts are light. The logo's pretty big. It's very comfortable. I'm wearing it now as we speak.
And it looks good.
And I just want you guys to take a look, check out that merch. You wear it while you're having sex, wear it while you're sleeping, wear it while you're in school. Let people comment and think you're nuts. That's
wear it as the only thing at all. No underwears, no nothing else. Just walk around with the shirt on. That's fine.
Wear it while you're binging. Wear it while you jerk. I don't care what you do. You take your shit. I don't give a fuck. But I think you guys got to check it out. You guys got to get these shirts, especially the new one that's coming out soon.
Yes.
Definitely take a look. First person to get it right.
I will be getting that one. I think it just looks awesome.
It's fucking awesome.
Simple collage, simple little screenshots from a movie that is not named yet, but we will get back to you. We will
reveal the winner on our next podcast, and we will reveal what movie it is. Maybe the next podcast.
That's it. That being said, enjoy the next podcast. Peace. Or welcome. Or wait, what? Are they here? Are they here yet? Is this like an audience thing? Do they sit down like in a movie theater? You know, those things that don't exist anymore? Are they here? All right. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back, Tom. It's been a minute since we've done one of these. We've been busy. We've both been busy.
Yes. And I want to say that, when you... people who tune in on like a TV show, a web series, podcast, whatever it is, a movie, whatever, they'll binge it or they'll come in, the following week, let's say, and watch the newest episode. But they, some people don't realize like how much time is missing between the gap of you watching that one show and then another show is being made. Or,
yeah, absolutely.
And for us, it's there's been at least a month since our last recording, and in that month that we've had that gap, there is so much shit that's happened in our lives.
So much shit that's happened to us, so much shit we've seen, so much shit that has occurred.
Yes.
I mean, I slept a lot. That's definitely one of the things I did. No, we've actually we've been busy. That's one of the reasons why we haven't done anything else.
Yeah.
But
I mean, we shot a movie.
Yeah.
That was the last time we met up. I think we shot our newest film.
Yeah, which I put into developmental hell for now. For now, I'm gonna get to it eventually.
It's you know how that goes. You know,
yeah.
It's just too much shit going on in our lives.
I need a mental process to get myself grooved back into that, but that's how it goes.
Obviously, for those who don't know, which is everyone except Damien and I, this is our third attempt at redoing this podcast recording because we were doing pretty good. And then the second time around.
The first time we had somebody backing up for about 15 minutes straight. We were trying to figure out how or why and where that was going down.
Yep.
And the second one we recorded a nice little, I think a good little back and forth.
Yeah.
And then we realized it was in the wrong.
But let's talk about that.
Yeah.
I think that was important. I think it's brave of us, and I'm proud of us that we brought it up. And it's just a shame that it got a little screwy in the audio. But let's bring that up. Basically, what we were talking about was just mental health and how Corona has just overwhelmed her stay. But
like I was saying before, it was it's like the Simpsons episode where Gil from The Simpsons overstays his visit at Marge and Homer's house.
Right.
Just because he didn't have a place to stay, but it starts out he's there in Christmas time.
Right.
And he doesn't leave till I don't even know, next year. And of course he overstayed his welcome like this fucking virus. So.
100%.
Yeah.
It's been through what, like
200%.
2 seasons already. Yeah, 200%. That was another thing we talked about, which was how we're using. Since our first podcast, I always say, 100% for everything, which is a habit. Never really ever said it.
Yeah.
And then Damien says he's been saying it now at work.
I picked it up at work, and now I say it all the time when people are telling me things. It's like, yeah, well, this happened, that. Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
And
but we both agree it doesn't come off douchey. It's
it's
just another way of saying, okay, cool, yeah, I agree.
Yeah. It's just slightly overused. That's all. But 100%.
100%. But I think it's important. Look, we all at some point, whether it be you have these depressed moods or you feeling anxious or whatever the case is. I know, we were saying that at least through Corona, the beginning of it. Both of us were pretty mentally strong with being like, all right, this is happening. This sucks. We didn't know the scope of how big it was going to be. So I think for myself, at least the first 3 months or so, I handled it pretty good. I mean, I've always suffered from anxiety, but I was handling it pretty good. It wasn't until I think in June when I realized this shit's not going anywhere, is when I was like, oh boy, I hope this doesn't cause a mental meltdown, you know what I mean?
But, absolutely.
Yeah.
I feel like for me, a lot of it was just sort of a subconscious denial. Because I didn't really, I knew it was coming. I knew it was there. I knew it was happening. Initially, it was very much played down. And then as things got worse, it was still it wasn't really affecting me. It wasn't really bothering me as much. Because I guess a lot of things were the same. I was still working.
Right.
Working my typical 40 hours a week or whatever. And then I guess just the same sort of routine of coming home and just, doing nothing after the fact.
Right.
But then I started to realize the little things like coming home and then wondering why I was up until 3 a.m.
Right.
Why I was binge eating at such a late hour in the night, aside from the fact that I was getting the munchies from smoking, but that non-tiredness of the brain and your brain not willing to shut off and just feeling down about everything. Because, I mean, just not to go fully off topic, but within the same time of pre-corona, one of the things that happened was my grandpa passed, and dealing with the depression of that has kind of just come and gone. And then during corona, one of my longtime friends, ex-girlfriend at the time, ex-girlfriend from a time, she passed away during all the COVID stuff. So those kind of things are these barriers and these weights that just kind of, they pile onto you and you just feel shittier and shittier. And you try to block them out. You try to just kind of go about your business, but it's definitely one of those things that's easier said than done. So,
well, that being said, I think I strongly feel for those that are listening who are maybe going through something of one thing or another in their life, or whether it be, solo, or it's something that's happening in the family, whatever the case is. I think it's extremely important that communication is the forefront.
Absolutely.
Of dealing with this, and I feel that you're not alone. We're all in this together, and for us, this podcast has become. For me, I'll speak on my own, but I strongly feel you'll agree. Which
I already disagree.
Yeah, I just feel like this podcast has been very therapeutic.
Oh, absolutely.
It's given us something to do, and it's also given us something to do that thing that we're doing is something that we've been wanting to do, and Corona has given us the excuse to meet up and do it.
It's the one good thing that came about from Corona.
Yeah, for sure.
Literally it.
So I just think by all means, I mean, I'm sure we have an Instagram page for this podcast, I believe. Now.
Yeah, there is an Instagram page. There's a Twitter feed.
Right.
I mean, I post about it all the time on my Facebook.
Yeah. So just reach. For those who are listening, I know because times right now are really tough, and
of course,
and it's starting to feel like this shit's never gonna end. But we're here to do the best we can to make you guys laugh, try to tell stories, and try to relate to everyone that's listening. And but if you have any questions, like please feel free. Like Damien and I are here. Like we'll even like do live calls just to like just to bullshit with people, because I just feel like right now don't smoke cigarettes, just have a pack of conversations. That's the corniest shit I could probably say this month.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
But I think it just being mentally aware of everything that's happening.
I completely agree, because I was saying before, and I mean you were saying it as well, but we felt like we were very mentally strong throughout most of it.
Yeah.
And then I was just I don't know, I never really dealt with anxiety. It's one of the things that I've dealt with it on a different level. Like
right.
Talking to a girl, my anxiety goes to the max, or having to do public speaking.
Right.
It's like almost to the point where I'm going to vomit into a garbage can next to me.
Right.
But that's like the only anxiety I've ever really experienced in my life. And then last July, I mean, I've had so many little bouts where like my mind was racing, and I attributed it to smoking marijuana, and then I stopped smoking and I was still having these anxiety fits. And then on top of that, depression kind of sort of, hey, well, while you're down here, let me join anxiety with you.
Yeah.
And it just sort of became this like pummeling of my mentalness that, that I've never felt a level of that low in terms of anxiety and depression ever. And it was to the point where like I was just like, I don't know if I should seek help. I don't know what I should do next. And I mean, obviously the right answer to that is yes. If you're feeling that down, you should seek some sort of help or outlook. One of the simple things that helped me a lot, though, is I just called my brother up and I was telling him how bummed I was. And I know he's dealt with depression. He's dealt with similar things. So just talking to him I talked to him for like 2 hours, and it was like somebody took that little thing that was pushing me down away,
Right.
Just talking about it. I didn't say like, listen, I need you to give him the answers. Just venting, me and him having a conversation.
Yeah.
It worked fucking wonders. So.
It's tough. It's tough because it's such a sensitive subject.
Yeah.
Because it's so well known and so not to get too political, but it's such a widespread issue.
Yeah. Well, it's like you said, it's so well known, but at the same time, it's so not well known.
Right. Exactly.
There's a lot of ignorance that comes along with it. There's a lot of, I mean, this is just one of many things that kind of falls between generations. Like, oh, well, you're depressed, or you're scared of shit.
Yeah.
Are you a fucking pussy?
Right.
And that's the mentality of a lot of people, when at the same time, they've just gone through it in many different ways, and it's just not realizing how different things are for everybody. Like kind of like you said, it is a spectrum, Yeah. Some people face it where they feel like the only proper out is they have to take their life. And other people are like, I just feel like shit. I feel down. I feel crappy.
Right.
And that like for me, I was thinking about that the other day, like how people can have the capacity to take their life. It blows my mind because I've never gotten to that level. But at the same time, I can understand feeling so helpless and lost, and like the only thing that makes sense to me is just I don't have to deal with it anymore. So it sucks, but it's
I mean, that's why. Yeah. It's a super super sensitive subject. And,
yeah.
And it's always bothered me.
Of course.
Because of how extreme that is.
Yeah.
And how how I feel like that could have been avoided.
Right.
And you know, in a way, I'm very glad that we're actually having this conversation because it's so taboo. I feel.
No, it's funny actually because I know, like we said, we have so many things to talk about. We'll get to the good stuff eventually,
of course.
But I just remember, like, listen, I felt really fucking terrible.
Yeah.
And I know, like, you know, you mentioned anxiety to me not too long ago as we were talking about life in general.
Yeah.
And I was like, I just for the sake of event or just. I thought maybe this would be like a quick opener kind of thing, but I feel like we could make a whole episode about like dealing with bullshit, you know? But like, I felt it was one of those things, like of all the good topics we have, this is one of those a must just to get it out in the air and just to show we aren't the only people, other people aren't the only people dealing with this. We are surprised that we are dealing with this, and everybody has their own shit going on.
Well, I mean, when we were in the take 2 recording, you know, I had said off the record, but I think it's important to share this. Like, I recently, it's been a little over a month. I think one of the best things I did, and luckily my brother's a psychologist, but you know, he obviously through practice, we're family, I can't really talk to him so much, but I do seek guidance when I need it. But
and I mean, he could probably refer you, or at least
which he did,
find you. Yeah,
he helped me find the therapist. Right, he helped me find the therapist because he's like, you know, Tom, there's a time where you can't really you can't do self-therapy anymore.
Right.
You know, he's like, you know, it's good to talk to someone.
And that's a very valid point because I feel like a lot of people are guilty of that, and I can guarantee you, I am 100% guilty of that. And I think one of the
you and me alone, dude. I mean, because I think therapy. As soon as you say you're seeing a therapist, it's the same thing like when you say when somebody goes, "Oh, you're depressed." Yeah. Right away, they think you're a fucking pussy.
It's a taboo. I mean, just it's gonna be as we have to tie everything back to film or movies and shows.
Do it.
That was The Sopranos in a nutshell. Everybody hears
it's
about
a macho.
Yeah.
Oh,
you doing fucking therapy now? What are you, a fucking pussy? It became this whole thing. Like there was almost a mafioso breakdown. Because they found out that he was seeking therapy, when in reality, they were his therapist was making him better and stronger to be an even worse, you know, but mafioso.
But that's it. It's the Soprano effect.
But exactly. But it's very much bound in reality. Like people hear you're in therapy and they think you're fucking bananas. And I'll be honest, I've been guilty of that thought process when I was younger, when I didn't understand the full thing. Sure. Like I heard my dad would take medication and had to deal with things. I'm like, well, what the fuck was wrong with him? And then as I get older, I'm like, maybe that's part genetic to me. And not only that, maybe it's not just the simple, oh, well, he's crazy. It's like, oh, well, he's seeking help to make his mind stronger and better. So
it's part genetic.
Yeah.
And it's just other part, just life.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Environment and everything going on. And to just go full circle. I mean, that's just like you deal with it on a regular daily basis, and then you have this virus that literally feels like it's squeezing you in a vice grip. Yeah, not literally, but you know what I mean. No,
but you know what? And maybe for that one person who's listening who is very, very fortunate that they don't have to deal with shit like this. That's great for you. There's no envious feelings. There's no jealous feelings.
Just a little bit.
But if you do know someone that is kind of dealing with this, who may or may not have said something, and don't be a dickhead.
No, of course not.
Help that person out, especially now. I just feel like now more than ever, I think we're all in such a vulnerable mental state because of all this bullshit. Which is not a good thing, but at the same time, there's nothing to distract us. We're home.
Yep.
And we have too much time to think.
Yep. I mean, like you said before, you could play video games for a month straight, and after a point, like I was playing Terminator Resistance, as we've talked about in previous podcasts.
Right.
I played it for a little bit, and then it was such a loom and doom game. Yeah, I couldn't keep playing it.
Okay.
I stopped watching Ozark the same reason. Ozark is such a brilliant show, but just because of how dark and gritty and depressing it gets, it was just feeding right into all the bad feelings I was having, and I had to go, fuck it, I need to watch this when the world's in a better place, or at least when my mind's in a better place.
I could not agree with you more, because as you know, I am a huge fan of horror. Yeah. But I haven't watched a horror film in months because I just can't bring yourself. It's just too much right now. I'm like, I really don't want to see, people getting chopped up or whatever the storyline. I'm like, even if it's a funny one, I'm kind of like, I really don't need to see anything violent. So what I've been doing is just watching like old school, like, like whether it be Simpsons.
You know what you need to do? You need to go on a John Candy movie binge.
100%. No, without a doubt. I think the world needs John Candy marathons right now.
Oh, without a doubt.
Because I think a lot of John Candy films, if not almost all of them, aside from I guess JFK, it's just their feel good movies.
Yeah. Well, for the most part, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles until the very end. The very end plucks the heartstrings, but at least it's with a good message, and it funnels back to Steve Martin being the good guy, even though he seemed like a dick the whole movie.
Right.
So
I'm glad you brought up Planes, Trains. Yeah. And I want to tell you why, because one day I had an argument with Taylor.
Okay.
And, I had to do something. It was something stupid. Whether it would be I said something stupid or because I bought a movie. It was something that bothered her. And
it was likely because you bought a movie.
Yeah, it was probably when I bought a movie. I think it was because of that. Because she's like, we don't have
make
space.
sure you tell her to thank me for talking you out of getting those steel books. By the way,
she watched me this morning. Can't take them off the cart.
I need to see it. I need to see it removed right now. Don't hit that checkout button.
I was close until you came in, and I was like, you know what, you're right. If the reference here is in September, the original Halloween and Evil Dead 1 and 2 are going to be released as an exclusive steelbook from Best Buy.
Which are, for the collectors that we are, they are pristine looking things.
Yeah, Halloween looks actually real. Evil Dead is cool, but the Halloween actually looks pretty sick.
Oh yeah, agreed.
But I actually had in my cart. I was, no joke, I was in the process of hitting complete order. And Damien said, if you have it already, what's the point in getting it? And I had this same dilemma when Texas Chainsaw Massacre had a limited steelbook that came out for Best Buy only, and the special features in that particular set or edition is exactly the same as I had in the 35th anniversary one that I bought years ago.
Gotcha.
And I've said to myself, am I really going to spend, I think it was like $20. Like, am I really going to spend $20 on a fucking steelbook case? It's the same exact thing. Like, I just felt like that. There's a certain point where I'm like, so that's the same thing with Evil Dead and Halloween, where it's like, more or less it's going to be the same shit. They're just packaging it in a different cover art.
Now here's my devil's advocate moment of that.
Yeah.
I own a lot of random DVDs.
Right.
As do you. Sometimes they do updates, and they sometimes make them a little more compact, or they update it in Blu-ray.
Yeah.
So I bought, and I think I showed you this, I bought the Batman Beyond collection as Blu-ray.
Correct.
Which comes with the pop, which comes with this and that. Amazon totally twisted my arm because it was like 50% off.
Okay.
Free shipping and all that junk.
Yeah.
I bought it. And the reason I bought it is because I wanted to compact the 3 loose seasons that I had into just one small thing that would take up on my shelf. So guess where that thing is now? It's sitting on my floor in my room. It's not even on my shelf. But I did get rid of the second copy, and I gave that to my brother.
All right.
So
well, there's that.
There's a little balance.
There's a little balance.
Yeah.
But, like, would you buy Halloween or Evil Dead 1 and 2, knowing that you already have them?
I don't think I would. However, as you did mention that Halloween, the steelbook case does look cool. I'm tempted with that. But I don't even know. Do I own a copy of Halloween? I do own a copy of Halloween. I do. I own an older Blu-ray copy, but it works just fine. It has special features. Yeah. It's kind of unnecessary.
It's unnecessary.
At the same time, I'm going to play the other side of the fence again. I was looking at a copy of Shaun of the Dead.
Okay.
On a same steelbook.
Yeah.
10-year anniversary type thing.
Yeah.
And I was pretty close to getting it. I think I might have actually gotten it. This is how bad my collections go.
This is not helping the situation.
No, I know. Hey, I said I play a devil's advocate here.
Well, speaking of devil's advocate.
Oh, did you get that on Blu-ray? Did you?
No.
It's a great movie. I'm in it. Keanu Reeves.
Bloody Disgusting is a really cool website, and I have their app. And
yeah.
I also hate
pretty
the
awesome.
app because they keep fucking letting me know on what's coming out. And one of those things were Rob Zombie's House of a Thousand Corpses, Devil's Rejects, and Three from Hell triple pack.
Okay.
Steelbook from Target.
See, I would get that because I own none of those movies.
See, I own those movies.
Yeah.
2 DVD, 1 on Blu-ray.
Uh-huh.
And I had it in the cart. I almost bought it, but it was $29.99, which I was like, okay, that's fine. But you couldn't really pick it up in the store because it's still pre-ordered.
Right.
So it would have came out to $41 after all was said and done. So I was like, am I really going to pay like $10 more?
Yeah, that's where the arm is untwisted, and you're kind of like, I kind of did that with a Hot Topic shopping recently, because they had a bunch of cheap shop. I was sending you links for like Michael Myers tank tops and shit.
Yeah.
Because it was $10 as opposed to the $30 that they typically sell it for.
Right.
So I was tempted, and then I was filling up my cart with all this other junk, and then I hit a midway point where I'm like, I have a fuck ton of shirts. I have a fuck ton of clothes. Why do I need any of this shit?
Right.
And then, of course, a week later, I find out that they're doing exclusive sales for the Simpsons pops that they're dropping soon. So that kind of funneled me back in. It's like, I'm going to have to go back on there. But I've thus far resisted the urge. So,
well, I mean, I saw the Vans Simpsons shoes.
Yeah.
Those look pretty fucking cool.
I'm gonna get those. I'm not even gonna disclaim now. I'm gonna get them
because you like the fucking show,
right?
And it's not, you don't have them. They're shoes.
Exactly.
I'm assuming you're gonna wear them.
No, of course. And I think I was already asking my sister for my niece's shoe sizes. I'm gonna try to get them some Simpsons related stuff, just to further push the Simpsons on them. Which I don't even have to anymore because they're pretty much fans. I've done my work here, but why not get them some Lisa Simpson Vans? You know, why not?
I'll probably buy. I never bought Vans, and I think now if there's ever a time, I would do it 100%.
Yeah, why not?
I actually need sneakers. So
yeah.
All right. So I am showing Damien as he's speaking a blown up picture of the Steelbook of Halloween,
and I am currently rubbing my nipples as he shows me these images because it's just so.
And it's still available for pre-order. I don't know, man.
$19.99.
I have 2 copies of it. I don't need another fucking copy.
Yeah, I mean. It is a pristine case, and it is a cool steelbook, but it really isn't. Like if you got $20 to spare, maybe. See, I'm like I'm hitting such a middle ground point in this. It's like, yeah, you should get it. Nah, you shouldn't get it. But I mean, I don't know. Personally,
because if I feel like if I get it, I'm gonna have to do the Evil Dead one too.
See, that's where I don't get the logic. It's like they're unrelated movies
because they're both coming out the same day, and the steelbook is pretty sick.
I thought the logic.
And I don't have Evil Dead on Blu-ray.
Fair, okay. Yeah. I feel like the Evil Dead on Blu-ray is it's what, $30-something though.
I believe it's $27.99. Let me see.
No, I saw 30-something, and I looked at it. I'm like, oh yeah, no, I think it was that. It might be.
Yeah, $27.99.
Oh geez, I don't know. I mean, on the one hand, it is 2 movies for that price, it is 2 Blu-rays. But on the other hand, I don't know. It is cool looking. Too bad it doesn't include the final chapter. Because if it
doesn't include all of them.
Yeah, exactly. Oh man, and the show, which I still need to finish. We were talking about that not too long ago.
Yeah. Ugh, piece of shit. I mean, I'll put them in my cart.
This is what we get for saying it's not good to buy and waste money, and now we're re-adding it to our cart. Oh man, how much are those going for?
24.
20.
It's a hard price because I can't, like I said, I already have Evil Dead, so it's kind of like.
I don't even own Psycho. I don't own Psycho. I think I own Goodfellas. Do you remember those super old, like when DVDs first came out?
Yep.
Where it had that ghetto click shit?
That's what I have.
That's the copy of Goodfellas I have.
But at that point, it's like,
I mean,
the fuck? It's the same movie. It's not like they're going to show you something different.
Those are so fucking tacky, are they not?
I hate those.
Like, usually it comes with a blank, like the disc is blank, or it's a double-sided disc.
It's double-sided, yeah.
So it's like, you could watch the standard edition or the widescreen edition.
Menu chapters on the left-hand flap.
Oh, my God.
I hate those because those papers are weak. Fucking cheap-ass cardboard.
Sons of bitches. That was Best Buy's quick route to make money because you would buy a TV and they'd throw in like 5 of those. But they wouldn't throw in like the new DVDs. They would throw in the cheap ones with that stupid fucking clip.
Yeah.
The non-collectors would buy them like crazy. And
I don't think that's necessary.
No.
I don't think Halloween or that's necessary, honestly.
I don't own Psycho, though. See, this is where the...
So if you don't own Psycho, that Psycho's actually really cool. If you don't own that's something. For $22, that's not bad.
Right.
That I'll say. If you don't own it, it's a good movie to have. That's a good movie.
It is a great movie, yeah.
For the other 2, yes, it's cool to say, hey, look what I have. It's a cool Halloween edition. But it's the same fact of, hey, do you have Halloween? Yeah. And life moves on.
Right,
I don't need to show you the steelbook that I went out of my way to get a fucking duplicate of a movie I already bought. There's a certain point where I got to get out of the realm of getting duplicates because it's new, but it's not new.
Yeah. No, I feel you on that. I only kind of do that, but I always go into it with like a replacement notion. But it is
that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I want to bring something up to you that grinds my fucking gears.
What is this? What do you think? This is some kind of open forum where we can just talk about whatever the fuck we want?
It's open mic night.
All right, let's do it.
So, trees, sunsets, pharmacy.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Answer my text right now. Have you ever felt like you know someone, whether it be a friend, family member, whoever, that acts or has acted like that particular group member? You know what I mean? That particular class, fucking that. Let's call him a pupil. That like that person in the group.
Oh, the group project member that puts all the work off onto the other workers and just sits back and acts like the dictator.
Yes, the dictator / cheerleader. If they want to make it feel like you're doing all the great work and all I'm going to do is just cheer you on, but I'm not going to do a fucking thing.
I'm lucky enough where I'm not graced with that in my family. Most of my family members are either pretty heavy hitters when it comes to getting shit done, or they're blatantly honest with how lazy and lack of helpful they are. Kedron. Kedron will literally be like, "Oh, I'm so tired. I barely sleep." I mean, granted, he's got the most fucked up sleep pattern in the world, so it makes sense. But they're pretty blatant with their honesty in terms of stuff like that, and they don't try to hold on to a situation. I have extended family members that are like that are very much like I'm used to the managerial position, so I need to pretty much be in control of everything.
Right.
But in terms of the sort of pushing off all the work onto others and then taking all the credit for it, I mean, I remember many a times of that happening in high school and elementary school. I remember middle school once. We were supposed to build a bridge out of spaghetti, right?
Okay.
And it was supposed to be literally like the teacher would test it out with the strength. It was supposed to be a sound structure of something that you're supposed to do.
Right.
And I got paired up with this dude. I'm going to drop his name. Should I drop his name?
Fuck it.
I mean, I got him on Facebook.
He'll
remember.
Fuck it was.
He'll remember this dude named Juan de los Santos.
Oh wow, we did last names. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna tag him in it on the fucking podcast because I still remember this fucking prick. He didn't help at all. I had his phone number. I called him a bunch of times and he never followed through to come to work on it with me. So I ended up like the day before. I ended up like panically putting it together. It looked so shitty. It was like a makeshift bridge out of the spaghetti. It didn't even look like the ones that we were supposed to do. I kind of came up with a design on my own, and it felt like it needed to be a group project, and it was reflected in how it came out. The day comes in, and I was such a pussy in middle school that I didn't even like raise my hand and be like, he didn't help me with it. The dude came in, and he kind of just looks all depressed, and he's like, hey, man. And then he sits down next to me for the project as if he worked on it with me. And I let it fucking slide. I'm like, why the fuck? I regret that, fucking asshole.
Do you remember where you got on that?
I don't remember, but I don't think it could have been any higher than a 70 or 75 or 80.
At least you passed.
It was passing, I'm pretty sure, but it was not. It was so poorly put together. It was like how Lisa looked when Homer made her as Florida.
Uh-huh.
It looked like that, only in bridge form. It was garbage. So.
Wow. Well,
I mean, Florida is garbage, so it makes sense.
Fuck Florida, but yeah, I know that's a good reference point. So. I mean, that sucks. Well, I mean. I forget it. I've fallen subject to being, when I was in Catholic school, I remember I was a shitty group member for one project.
You were the shitty group member?
For that one time where I didn't show up. I showed up one day, but it was a project that we needed 2 or 3 days worth of putting the research together, like OTAG paper and whatever the project we were this experiment we were conducting, and needed a couple of days of meetup. And I remember doing one day and then never showing up again. And then I remember the day before, I was calling the kid at the time. I was like, hey, man. And we were friends. And he's like, no. He's like, I can't give you, I think it was in 4th grade. He's like, I can't give you credit for this because you never showed up and you're on your own. And he's right. He's right.
Respect him having more balls than I had when I was that long.
Yeah. And I remember saying, like, I was fucked. But at the same time, when I was like 9 or 10, I didn't give a fuck. So
I'm gonna get back to my Game Boy.
Right. So exactly.
Time to be Pokemon Yellow. Fuck them.
I think I played my Super Nintendo, honestly, to be fucking for real. And then because I remember going to class the next day, they presented, and the teacher asked me like, well, I thought you were in this group, and they explained like I never showed up.
Yeah.
And I wasn't one just to lie about it. I was kind of like, yeah, I didn't do it. So I remember failing that and almost failing that year, but made up all the how. But the reason I bring this up is because I've also then fallen to the other side where you do the work and then you have the asshole that doesn't.
Yeah.
And you figure at 30 years old, you kind of wouldn't be experiencing that unless you're you decide to go back to school for some reason, undergrad or master's, and you have to do a class project. But
right. No, I mean, I can relate to this happening at my job too. There's points where you bust your like. So one of the things that's been going on at my job is the compactor machine that all the garbage funnels down is fucking broken, and it's one of those things where it costs too much to fix, so it needs to be replaced. But not to dish out too much, but it was a cost-efficient measure where they bought a shittier one as opposed to a normal size one,
right?
Which is why it fucking broke down in the first place. But one of the things we have to do is literally shovel garbage into a garbage can. It is the most fucking gut-wrenching, disgusting thing that I'm now on a weird level immune to, because my least favorite thing was the compactor when I started this job. It still is, but now it's a little more tolerable due to repetition. Anyways, I'll take my fucking time and shovel it for like a fucking hour, literally an hour of fucking garbage. And then the next person that comes in a couple days later will mention, yeah, I spent a lot of time cleaning that thing the other day. I'm like, this motherfucker just took credit for me as he let that shit sit there and fill up, but I'm the one that took the time to shovel it. So long story short is I don't shovel shit anymore. I let that shit build up. There's 1,000 flies in our compactor room now.
Fuck them.
Fuck them. But yeah, the group project mentality of, well, we all work together. We're all a team. But I'm going to complain about this one not doing that, and I'm going to not do this and then take credit for it. So.
Well, how about this, right? How about...
Oh, shit, he picked up the mic. Shit's about to get real.
I'm fucking in and out. But how about this? Like, how about when you actually have a group member that does something with you?
Yeah.
Says, yeah, we're a team. We did this together. Like, we kick ass. And then that motherfucker turns around and makes themselves look better than you. Saying they did more work, or they knew exactly what to do, and you kind of just were their assistant.
Well, that's like the general manager way to do things. It's like, you did a great job today, but I'm going into this meeting, and I'm going to use this as my forefront so we look good. You mean you look good?
You look good, right.
And that's what it is.
Yeah, suck my fucking dick. I have a couple of people in my life that are like that. And for that, I can say, go fuck yourself. Because those are the kind of people who... I realize are going to always ask for your help.
Oh yeah.
And then will never give you the credit, and will only reach out because they need help, and nothing beyond that.
It's true.
And those are the people that are there's no I in team, but there's a fucking I in win. I don't know where I'm going with that. There's no I in team, but it's all fucking bullshit. It's all this supermarket. We're going to have a meeting. We're a team. But fuck you. I just got the bonus at the end because I'm the general manager, like you said.
Exactly.
Now, I'm bringing this up because, it's a topic, but this is happening to Damien and I as we speak. We have someone that we're supposed to be working with that is not as in no way being malicious, but just being a huge fucking pain in the ass, and is leaving a lot up to Damien and I to kind of take reign and control over something that this particular person wants to do.
Right.
And
I initially, just from what I saw initially, it seemed like it was more him venturing the collaborative effort in full force.
Yeah. But
then it's almost on a level different than that. Like initially that's what it seemed, but I don't know where that stands now. It seems like it's a little more like, all right, I'm giving you guys all these tasks so we can make my thing good, as opposed to we're working on this together. Let's do it right and let's come together, Yeah. So.
Well, yeah. And that's been a lot of my issue, because it's this constant, like, you want help. Of course, if I can help, I'll do whatever I can. But when someone turns around and goes, can you do this for me?
Yeah.
Send me this. And it's like, fuck you. Look it up.
You got Google.
Like, you're asking me to send you a link to a fucking thing you need when you know exactly what it is you need. Just send me the fucking link and I'll tell you if it's the right thing. Don't make me do the research for you.
Yeah, but if you don't do the research for me, then I have to open up a browser and then I have to type on it.
Right, exactly.
And then I have to hit send. And then I got to go through 3 different pages of results. And that's a lot of work for me when you could just do it for me.
You know who you sound like? My fucking aunt.
Really?
My aunt, 100%. My fucking aunt is so fucking lazy.
Well,
and then...
Not that my mom... Well, maybe my mom is lazy, but my mom is very much like that. My brother spent... sorry to cut your talking off,
go by all means.
But my brother literally spent... he spent 2 hours on the phone with her just helping her log in to Hulu.
Jesus Christ.
2 hours just helping her log in on Hulu. And not because... It's not even that she doesn't know how to do it, because my brother was literally like, afterwards, he's like, this fucking motherfucker, she can log into eBay in any fucking state in the country,
right.
but she's not able to fucking log in on Hulu. So it's one of those things like, you do. My mom is very much like that. She's very much like, do what you can for me.
Right.
But if you don't do something for me, then you are an ungrateful piece of shit. So
okay, so does
that sound like
that's
your aunt?
my aunt? Yes, and I'll give you the perfect example. My aunt. So my aunt's not the one that's blood related. It's my uncle. It's my mom's brother. So my mom's
mother sister-in-law.
My sister. That's my mom's sister-in-law.
Yeah, mother sister-in-law.
Yeah,
yep.
yeah. So my aunt has they have 2 little dogs.
Okay.
They live around the corner from us. They're fucking.
What kind of little dogs? Because I'm already annoyed.
They're Pomeranian poodle, teacup dog. They're like those handbag dogs. I call them. They're shitty dogs.
Yeah. Pomeranians are cute. They bark a lot, but they
those dogs suffer so much because I don't think they're supposed to be that fucking
small.
Absolutely.
When they teacup them down, that becomes all like.
It's a host of issues.
Yeah,
I don't
exactly.
think. I think it's inhumane. I'm
pretty sure their lifespans are shorter because of that too.
Yeah, they have a lot of. I mean, she has a lot of. The dog's it's a female. It has a lot of breathing issues and stuff.
That sucks.
But they're designer dogs. It's disgusting. But that's a different story.
Yeah, we do a podcast for another day.
Yeah, so she gets 2 dogs,
right.
Not the same time, but whenever, a few years apart. The dogs yap a lot, whatever. Now, I feel bad because I'm not going to air their dirty laundry, but my aunt and my uncle have been trying to have kids. Mm-hmm. I think at this point it may not happen. It's very unfortunate. It sucks. It does suck. So I think mentally it's taken a toll on them. So the dogs have become the embodiment of their children that they weren't able to have. So they treat them like little kids.
Like they're
So they're super
Which
attached.
happens a lot with people.
Yes, it's a coping mechanism. How I look at it.
Yeah, no, it makes sense.
So when they go on vacation, this is in the past, they would bother the shit out of us, mostly me and Taylor, to go to their house to watch the dogs, to babysit, make sure they're okay. Now the dogs are not trained.
Right.
They they go outside, but they go outside to bark. They have wee-wee pads and they piss on the floor except the wee-wee pad. So there's no reason to really
they do.
Yeah. There's no reason to really go there other than make sure that, if there's poop, clean up and they make sure they have food and water.
Yeah. I was going to say, do you have to walk them and stuff? But
there's no reason to walk them.
That's their home.
Yeah, so, exactly. Yeah. Give them a little bit of attention so they're not feeling, the dogs are not going nuts because, there's no one there.
Yeah.
Give a little bit of some sort of human interaction. But it got to a point where it was getting so extreme that they wanted us to even sleep there.
Oh, God.
And I'm like, I live around the corner. Fuck you. I'll come every few hours. I'll just stop by and make sure everything's okay. But so it got to a point where not only I was getting asked to do this, but I was getting told, you have to do this for us. And these are the stipulations. These are my guidelines. I'm doing you why? How are we getting this confused? Now, the last time I did this, and this was the last time, they put a fucking security camera up so they can watch the dogs remotely.
Oh, my God.
And
wait. So they needed to watch the dogs remotely and have you there?
Yes.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And they asked us to sleep there, which wasn't happening. And they told us, just leave the light on for them so that I'm going to be able to watch them. They were
I thought she meant leave the light on for them so they can so the dogs don't get scared at nighttime.
I feel like
probably
some of the reason.
Best of both worlds kind of thing.
When we were watching them, we didn't hear from them for 3 or 4 days. We get called. My Taylor was getting blown up through Facebook Messenger or whatever it was.
Oh, God.
Never once did they ask how you guys are doing. It was how the dogs send me pictures.
How is Swoopy and Poopy?
Yeah, they were like, I need pictures now. Send me pictures now.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Like, go fuck yourself. So when my aunt and my uncle came back.
It's fucked up, but I would send pictures from the shelter.
When my aunt and my uncle came back, I vowed to Taylor, I was like, we can't do this anymore. This is too much.
It's a task that's become stress when it was a favor to somebody. Fuck that.
Fuck that. And we were doing a lot. Now, I go away for work. I'm in Florida. Mm-hmm. The company changes my tickets for flying back. I was supposed to come back with the rest of the crew in the afternoon the following day, but instead they had to stay. They didn't need my department anymore, so they put me on an earlier flight.
Okay.
And so that changed a lot of things. So here it was. I'm trying to get in touch with like my brother. My wife was working, so I'm trying. Who do I call? Otherwise, I'm gonna have to take an Uber. So I'm just trying to save a little money. I'm trying to see who's home. Now I call my aunt, the one I've always done favors for, and I ask her first. What was she doing tomorrow?
I know where this is going.
Oh, I'm not doing anything, etc., etc., etc. I'm like, okay, great. I was like, can you do me a huge favor? I gave her the rundown what happened.
Yeah.
I was like, do you mind just picking me up in the morning? Well, I'm busy, and it became this whole thing.
Oh, you're busy now, but you were free.
Free.
Got it.
And so that became, and I stopped doing favors for her, and she pulled some shit when we bought our mopeds together.
Mm-hmm.
She kind of threw it in my face like, you made me buy this, and even though I helped her fix something, like, oh, what happens if you broke it? What do I come to you? So it's just one of those things where, yeah, I think it goes back to the group member thing where it's like, you're going to have that one fucking person who you may do everything for, you may help. Mm-hmm. And then when you need the fucking help in return, it's just a stupid favor.
They're just the ungrateful.
It's the ungrateful, yeah. And how this tie back to this guy that I was referring to, I don't think he's ungrateful. I just think that there's a certain point where Damien and I, because we were supposed to do that today, but I just think because of being so pushy, that I feel like we kind of lost interest.
I mean, in all honesty, just the whole back and forth, the whole random text messages. It was a little intense. It was too much. Sorry, I trailed for a second there.
Yeah.
No, I mean it was just it was too intense after a certain point, and I just feel like it was definitely hitting that overbearing point. It's like, all right, we get it. We're gonna do this, so don't keep pestering us about this and that and this and that. We're gonna figure it out. Especially
for free.
Exactly.
And then we're starting to ask us for other things beyond what we said we would bring.
Right.
That's what was pissing me off. Asking
hey,
us,
do you have
this? Sounds like, yo, dude, you gotta like, if you have it, bring it, because we're not like, go for like,
right.
Yeah.
We're sound, we're camera. That's it. The rest is in your hands, buddy. Right. It be like that. Some people, I feel like that might be just part. Some people kind of grow up, and some people sort of stay the same way they've been all their life, and I feel like that might be one of those factors. So. For
sure.
So.
Yeah. For sure.
All right, that's it, guys. Good night. No, I feel like this was just, this is the first touch of our feet into the water after we haven't done one of these in a minute.
Yeah.
And we just got to, empty our thought processes a little bit, talk about our mental health. And, I think that's important. One of the things that I've always been quiet about, and I was thinking about that recently where I never talked to my dad about my mental health, and it's just like I should, My dad works with people that have mental issues, and it's something that I feel like I should do, but it's something that everybody should do. Don't feel like you're the only one, because that is far from the factor, and don't feel like it'll last forever too. Because these feelings come and go.
Yep.
Just try to stay above them and just stay in a healthy mindset, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I just to add to that before we wrap up here, I just second that, and like I said before, which is communication. I know I sound like a really bad Hallmark card, but I really do mean it. Like communication is super key.
No, agreed.
I think it's the one major tool to kind of. I think it's beyond medication. I think communication is the medication.
Absolutely.
That's the forefront. I think that's where you should start. And I feel like if there's any feelings of whatever, there's places to seek, there's people to talk to, but if you're not ready for that yet, like I said, it's people like us who I'm proud of us in this episode in particular, because it's a lot to confess that. Yep. And there's nothing where I'm not ashamed for bringing that up, that I'm talking to a therapist, and you're not ashamed to bring up that you've had these feelings, and
right.
and you're admitting that you would like to talk to someone. So it's like,
absolutely,
we're helping each other by opening that line of communication.
And I'll be 100% honest. Before, as I said, it was a topic that I wanted us to consider for a discussion.
Yeah,
I was a little kind of embarrassed, and I was a little kind of like, I don't know if I should bring it up, and I don't know where it'll go, where the conversation will lead. If it's and then when you mentioned it, dealing with some of the similar things that I've dealt with, I'm like, oh fuck, this is a no-brainer for something for us to go back and forth about. So
I hope, I have a huge belief in people and human beings that we're here to help each other out.
Yeah.
In the midst of everything that's in lieu of what's happening in the world and everything, between the between Corona, between Lebanon, between the Black Lives Matter movement, just there's a lot of shit that's happened this year,
and it's regardless of how much you tune in or tune out, it is overwhelming no matter which way, no matter what side you lean towards or whatever. It's everywhere,
But I will say it's everywhere, and it feels like it's inevitable to detach yourself from it.
Yeah.
I get it, but I really have a strong belief that if in a situation like if someone just reaches out to us, even just if they want to talk live or not live but pre-recorded on our podcast, and this is I'm not trying to be funny, like it's not for us to gain more viewership or gain more fans. It's more so for the fact that I feel it's important that we have the technology, we have the skill set to do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I feel like I am more than willing and ready to talk with people and make someone feel better and make someone feel like they're not doing this alone or they're not feeling something that no one else has felt before.
Yeah.
And I feel like if at the end of the day it's just all gonna help everyone. I know I sound like a therapist right now, but I really do feel like we have this outlet, so let's use it. Don't be afraid. We won't even have to use names.
And not only that, I mean, we're a prime example of that as a testimonial. We've been doing this in the thick of it, and it has helped us feel leaps and bounds better.
It's something I look forward to. It's something when we are planning it out a week in and out. I'm like, okay, well, next Thursday we're doing, we're meeting up whoever's apartment and we're gonna go and do the recording. Not
for nothing, I woke up. I'm gonna attribute my early wake up to the excitement of doing the podcast because I'm usually in bed until maybe like 10 if I have stuff to do, maybe.
Right.
I got up. I was fucking awake at like 6:45. I rolled around in bed until like 8:30. And then I was up and I said, fuck it, let me just move all the equipment in the front, set up on where we usually record.
Yeah.
And we were good to go.
So. Yeah, we really did. I mean, we walked in, said hello, and kind of just put my bag down. And we started going.
Like, I'm ready.
So. Yeah, I mean, because we have a lot to catch up today on. And and I feel like this is a great start. It's a great subject. I think hopefully it's going to give someone the confidence to speak up. Whether it may be with us, and bullshitting with us if they want, or at least with close family and friends. So I have that hope that maybe we can hopefully share that, confidence with someone else.
Agreed. That being said, as I stare at Tom in my Dubfeat T-shirt that we made on TeePublic, with his slick back that is very reminiscent of Michael Myers' hair on his mask, I just have to say it.
Yes.
We bid you adieu until next time.
Peace.